Yo, welcome back to the Jam Podcast. I'm Miller.
It's Gav.
And today, we are doing some more NBA reactions, so let's get straight into it. Last night, the Nuggets had a Game 3 win over my Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Gavin, I just want to know, was this more about the Nuggets winning this game or the Thunder losing it?
Ooh. I feel like both teams had positive signs. Now, the Thunder has some negative signs, but both teams had stuff you could take away from this game and be like, okay, cool. I think J-Dub came out.
Yes.
I would say the best game of his career.
Yes.
Yes. Had the best game of his career. Sucks that happened and you lost because you might, there's pros and cons to it. One, Thunder, you got, I would say, a dynasty possibly brewing on your hands for like if you can keep these two and a third together. But you never know, like with J-Dub struggle game one, like, did you just not waste that game? But dang, like, we want to get it done. But like I've said, I think the Thunder top to bottom, I think everyone agrees that they have a better roster. They are a better team. I just think that with their youth and whether it's coaching, whether it's certain players, whether it's their offense getting a little stagnant. Like I said, I think the only scenario that Nuggets win games in, and they've won 2 already, is close, late game.
Yeah.
I trust the Nuggets way more to execute.
Yeah.
Clutch time comparison in this conference semifinals, which was only really 2 games because there was no clutch time in the other one. Thunder 11 points, Nuggets 28. Thunder 3 for 18. Nuggets 8 for 17. 3-point field goals, Thunder 1 for 6, and the Nuggets are 4 for 7. Yesterday, Shea in the fourth quarter and overtime. Overtime, he didn't attempt a shot, and fourth quarter, he was 1 for 8.
Yeah.
Hartenstein in overtime looked
hideous. Had that push shot, didn't work. I'll fill that in for you.
Went too long and then airballed one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really like ISO ball, and there's no one I trust more in a 2-minute execution than a 2-man game with Jokic and Jamal Murray, and then you have now Aaron Gordon able to hit from the corner, and then Michael Porter Jr. on the other side, and then you got Bron just giving fits. Yeah. Being a pest, playing extremely hard. So it was actually beautiful to watch for the Nuggets the way they executed in overtime. But yeah, that's my only concern with this Thunder team. I think they're ready to. I think they can still go to the finals, and I think they can win the finals, especially if New York handles business, which I hope they don't. But if New York were to get Boston up out of there, I would pick the Thunder to win the championship. I actually would.
So I'm glad that you said that. Let me take it a step farther. What I learned from last night's game is if the Celtics do not come out of this series, whoever comes out of the Thunder Nuggets series will win a championship. Yeah. There is no doubt in my mind about that.
Oh, you think the Nuggets will be Timberwolves?
I think the Nuggets, I flipped my entire outlook on this. I do think the Nuggets will be the Timberwolves based on how these teams have been playing. Let's just say their last 3 games each. Yeah. From game 5 to now for the Timberwolves and from game 1 to now for the Nuggets. The Nuggets right now, once again, we discussed in the second half of the season how we had problems with their roster, how we didn't like how they were constructed. The Nuggets played great basketball yesterday, and it was a game that I walked away from, and I'm like, damn, my Thunder, they shot horribly, but they still played a good game. Yeah. The Nuggets still played a great game. Michael Porter Jr., let's talk about Michael Porter Jr. for a second. I think he had 21 in this game.
5 for 6 from 3.
5 for 6, and none of his shots were completely uncontested. Well, some of them were, but he made some incredible shots yesterday. Yeah. Jamal Murray, if he is playing like this, the thing about this is I've never seen the Nuggets guarded so well. Yeah. And that's what I'm scared about. Aaron Gordon, if he's shooting threes and is a dunk threat like this, okay. Like, we have to talk about what this roster looks like, and we could just talk about those 5 with Brown. This is an elite team. Elite team. And there's nothing we could talk about now to discredit them because, once again, this is a bad Jokic night. And we got Michael
terrible.
Porter.
0 for 10 from 3. That'll never happen again.
That'll never happen again. But also, we do want him shooting threes. Yeah. And that was the thing about it. The Nuggets defense held Shea to shots they wanted him to take, and OKC did the same. Yeah. And the guys that stepped up more were on that Nuggets roster. Yeah. And obviously, that is a concern for OKC. Like you said, I was concerned on the late game execution, the stagnant offense, and I'm not gonna lie. If there is someone that I have to blame, even though I don't like blaming on, because someone has to go up 2-1 in a tight series, right? Yeah. So I don't like blaming anybody this early. But once again, I have questions about Mark Daigneault in late game situations.
Late game situations, yes, but also I truly do believe that when you're playing a longer rotation, you're always going to look at 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, maybe on a bad night, guys, and be like, he didn't show up. Yeah, he didn't show up. But the Nuggets, there's none of their players are out of rhythm because they're only playing 7 to 8. And so every single player has played a lot of minutes. They're in a rhythm. How can you expect someone? I mean, someone's going to come in for the Thunder for 6 to 8 minutes. And it could possibly be not productive. So I think honestly, what I've seen from Caruso, he has to play. I would cut Isaiah Joe.
I would get Isaiah Joe out the lineup right now. I want to play Aaron Wiggins a little bit more than we have. It seems like with Daigneault as well. It's not the fact that he's playing all of these rotation guys. It's the fact that their minutes are being swapped from game to game. Aaron Wiggins is coming in early first quarter. Next game, he's coming in the middle of the second quarter. There's no consistency with his rotations. And what I do value about him is you could tell this dude watches film. You could tell this dude has his team ready to play in early stages of the game. Like I feel like he's a great scout. And that's understandable.
I think he's great game plan, but when it gets off script, what are we doing?
And that's a concern, and that's a young thing as well. So I'm not completely scared. And Peyton Watson and Russell Westbrook, they're playing 7 guys, and there are 2 guys off the bench right now are playing great basketball. And honestly, no one would have counted on Peyton Watson coming in and giving him these minutes. Like, this is impressive from him. This is the best basketball I've seen him play.
You saw him hit the three, and then Thunder called timeout. He said, "Pay me." To the screen and pay me.
And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's playing great basketball right now.
And
if he's doing what he keeps doing, this is a core that they need to probably keep together a little bit longer because it's 2 rings. I mean, once again, this team is playing great. But also, it made me think, if this is the Denver Nuggets team that we lose to, I don't want to rush the process of breaking this team apart. I simply don't.
And I've said this with the Thunder. Y'all can get better and not lose your team.
Yes.
You could, and I ain't saying it has to be KD. It could be Giannis. It could be whoever. It could be who else? Who's else out there? I'm trying to think.
Man, I would low-key want someone like lesser scale, but I don't know if there is anybody lesser scale to add.
I would definitely take someone that doesn't need a lot of shots.
Yeah, exactly.
But y'all have so many draft picks that will not be. I mean, it's gonna get to the point. Y'all might have a lottery pick that has to go straight to the G League.
Yeah.
Like, so
I mean, we got a guy sitting on the bench that was a lottery pick last year.
So what's the point? You know? So what's the point? I would honestly say, yeah. I mean, I think if you lose a series, you do need to keep every core guy together.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think. Once again, it hurts, but there's certain guys that you got to get rid of, like the Celtics when we won our championship.
Yeah.
It hurt me as a fan to get rid of Marcus Smart.
Yes.
But we had that better offense.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying Lou Dort got to get traded, but if Lou Dort is on the table for a better offensive.
And that makes sense, but I'm glad that you brought. And Lou Dort, once again, Lou Dort was playing amazing defense.
Yeah.
And yesterday it just didn't work out for him because they were hitting shots. They were hitting shots. But what I will say is the guy who I've advocated and wanted on this team for such a long time to give us a complete 7 that I speak of all of the time, I want to go get Trey Murphy. Yeah. I mean, you don't find a lot of 3-and-D guys like Trey Murphy. And once again, we get into the fourth quarter, and these guys, they're scared to shoot. They were scared to shoot last night, and that's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Last year against the Dallas Mavericks, the problem was there was no outside shooting, no outside scoring other than Shea.
Yeah.
Now, it's a little different last night, per se, because Jalen Williams stepped up. And by the way, Jalen Williams, great buckets. Like these weren't no fluke 30 elite, points. These were elite buckets.
He's gonna be like, I think he's gonna be looked at like Jaylen Brown is in the sense of you got your 1A.
Yeah.
But then he's definitely on that edge of top 10.
Absolutely.
I ain't saying right now, but I'm saying like like he will like in his prime. I think you could say like you could have a top 10 list, throw him at 8.
Yeah. And I can see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely, based off the way, once again, he was scoring. And he has so many traits. That he's a very well-rounded player as well. So I forgot what I was saying before this, so that I'm just going to cut it out.
Yeah.
But, man, I want to see us, like you said, try to find a way to shorten this rotation to 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Because also, like with Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams has given us off the bench. I think he made a 3 last night. He's guarding Jokic well. I mean, if you got those 3 bigs, and then you got, whatever, let's say Jalen Williams, Shea, Lou Dort, and then you find a way to get Trey Murphy and Alex Caruso, you're not losing.
No.
And this is the second serious playoff series that this team has played in.
Yeah.
Like, we have to be real about this squad. So it's like we have to be a little bit patient. KD worries me because, once again, how healthy is he going to be? How good? Like, it does worry me a little bit. Giannis, if you go get Giannis, bro, go get Giannis. Like, there's no, like, that's just what it is. I'm not saying we would win a championship easily that way, so that's why I'm not so excited about it. Like, I don't get excited when teams that are already there, the Warriors go and get KD. Like, that doesn't really make me excited as a basketball fan.
Yeah.
This won't make me excited as a basketball fan, but if you got to go do it and go win, go win.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But overall, Thunder, I got y'all in Game 4.
Yeah.
And
must win.
Man, it is a must win.
Yeah.
But I don't think they feel too much pressure, man. I think they're gonna come out swinging. I think they might blow them out once again. And that's gonna be how this series.
I think that might be the best thing for the Nuggets. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when the Nuggets got blown up, I'm like, I texted my man's Nigel. I'm like, this is the best way for the Nuggets did not need to go down to the wire and lose.
No.
Like,
but
this is a good
Game 4 though is gonna be interesting because this like, I know the next game is always the most important game.
Yeah.
But Game 4, we gain home court advantage back if we win this game.
Yeah.
And that's what we had to do. All we had to do was win one of these.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Great series though.
Yes. All right. We're going to get into Knicks-Celtics real quick. The game is happening today at 3:30. We're filming this on a Saturday. I want to ask you, what is the biggest problem right now? Matter of fact, let me not ask that because you're going to say shooting, so I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Do you think right now Joe Mazzulla is a bigger problem than Jason Tatum?
No.
So you think Jason Tatum is a bigger problem right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one thing I value about Jason Tatum, took it. I got to play better.
Yeah.
And Jason Tatum has played bad in the playoffs before.
Yes.
But he's never played bad and not made up for it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let this series play out. He has to play better.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. He's the one who's going to get your 2-pointers.
Yeah.
Him and Jaylen Brown are to blame.
Yes.
But, yeah, I will say, like, I agree on the fact that, you know, you can't play a style and then all of a sudden fans just want you to play a different style all of a sudden. No, this is your style, Celtics. Play the style. If you lose, go out playing this style. It won you a championship.
Yes.
Like, it won you a championship. I just think you do have to hit shots.
You got to hit shots.
And if you don't, the Knicks will beat you because, as we've said, the Knicks didn't build a roster to win a championship in a sense. They built a roster to beat the Celtics, which will put them there. But I don't think they're beating any team that's coming out the West, in my opinion.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Like any of the four. Like, I really don't.
It would be so interesting
if the Warriors have Curry.
The thing about it is, I'm sorry to say this, like, I still think the Celtics are going to win this series.
No, I do too.
So it's like, if the Knicks do come out and win this thing, we're going to have a very different outlook from them just being up 2-0 than when they actually get out the series. So I'll have to see then.
100%. I think the Celtics will bounce back and play better. The thing, once again, is you have to shoot better.
Yes.
And you're going into a tough crowd today.
Yes.
I think you have to end it early. Like, you got to
biggest must win of the playoffs so far.
Biggest must win for the Celtics. But we came back from down 0-3 with this same core. So I'm and that was a Joe Mazzulla coach team, and, you know, Tatum got hurt Game 7. You never know what could happen in that series. But I'm confident that Tatum and everyone will bounce back and play better, because we are a championship team. I'm worried about Porzingis.
That's my main worry right now.
And that's my worry because we can't win a title without him.
Yeah, no.
And I don't know exactly what this illness is. It hasn't really been described. It's just illness.
Yeah.
But he's got to.
I think it's a respiratory thing.
Yeah, like, I don't want to sit here and just fight through it, but, like, we need you. Like, we need you. Because Al Horford is looking like
horrible.
He's aged.
Because
he's looking like he's aged.
Porzingis getting those minutes is only helping Horford out.
Yes.
And when Horford has to play these extended minutes because you don't have another big other than Cornette, who's not really putting fear in anybody's heart.
No, not offensively. No. I mean, when you have Horford playing the way he's been playing,
yes,
we're not what makes us scary is our 5 can shoot and score as well.
Yeah.
That hasn't been the case with either of our 5s.
And so in a way,
then that makes Mitchell Robinson very valuable when if our bigs would play offensively how they're supposed to play, Mitchell Robinson would be a non-factor.
Yes.
So,
I completely agree. And it is kind of, y'all just got to make shots. Like, it's a lot.
We got to play how we play.
How y'all play. And in game 1, I thought there were a lot of shots that were bad shots. Game 2, y'all got the shots that y'all wanted. And y'all missed shots.
And I think also, to get on Joe Mazzulla just a little bit, I'm not saying go away from your style. Shoot a bunch of threes. Get them up. But there is a time and score.
Yes.
If we're up 20, we don't need to rush.
No.
You can still get up a 3. And I think the best our offense has looked is when we drive and then get threes.
Yes.
I'm not saying drive and you got to score a layup or a mid-range every time. But drive, for instance, when we're getting the switches that we want, I watch in regular season film. We're getting the switches and we're driving on Brunson. We're driving on Karl Anthony Towns. Now we're settling on them, thinking we could take them one-on-one. No, we still need to drive, have someone help. I feel like that's what Tatum, or really our whole team did. Whoever was guarding Luka, they don't take Luka one-on-one. They just drive, and they either get a dunk or you have to help and we get a 3. And we're not doing that this series. We're just taking the weaker defender one-on-one instead of creating an advantage. So and I would like to see us do that more.
Tatum and Brown do have to get downhill and start finishing with force, though, because and that has to be a coaching thing. That Joe Mazzulla has to get in their ear and let them know that, because once again, if this is your philosophy, I don't think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are taking any different shots that they've been taking in this last year. And what has happened is that they have finally lost 2 games in a playoff series. And it's different, and it's a wake-up call. We'll see how they respond today, and I think they will respond today. And I don't think there's that much to be worried about. What I will say, this game 2 that they just played has fueled the fire to every Jason Tatum hater. And what I will say about that, I'm now hearing that people thought Jason Tatum could be the best player in the world. I'm thinking, like, who's saying this stuff? Because this was never a notion. No one ever said he was better than Jokic. No one ever said he was better than Giannis. But after that, that's the tier he falls in. Are you going to drop him past Luka, who just had a worse playoff series? Are you going to drop him past Anthony Edwards, who hasn't been playing great at all these last couple of games? I'm confused on where you want us to drop this guy. I think a lot of people love hating on him just because they want to.
And I it's really just, you have to really know basketball to understand Jason Tatum's value on the court. And once again, this is a guy who has a championship, and y'all love many more. Granted, I understand more players are Anthony Edwards. I understand why you would like him more. I understand why you would like Luka more. All these players. Well, I don't know about Luka, but
I also put Shea up there.
Even Shea, why you would like him more. Not even as a saying he's better. I'm just saying as in like a fan, whatever. But this is a guy who has a championship, and a lot of the guys I just named don't, or he has the same amount as Giannis. And obviously Giannis is better than Tatum, but when healthy. But like I said, honestly, I think it really is just a trend to hate on Jason Tatum. Because, you know, Anthony Edwards went 0 for 10 in the first half. I really didn't hear a thing. Like, I really didn't hear a thing. If Tatum plays a bad game and it's just... and once again, I get it. He's corny, whatever. But it comes down to people just not having ball knowledge, because when your favorite players, like the ones you like, Ant 0 for 10, Shea 1 for 8 in the fourth quarter, struggling when your team needs you. Like, it's almost just... You don't hear it. You don't hear it.
After game 1, in a game where Stephen Curry was injured in the first half, and you don't conquer that game, and Anthony Edwards does not make a jump shot the entire game.
One jump shot.
I heard nothing. I heard nothing. This is home court advantage we're talking about. They walked in, stole a game without Steph, and I heard nothing about it.
If Steph Curry had an injury where he just came back, you might be cooked for the series. You're sold.
Bro.
And that's my point. We don't hold players accountable based off just because we like him. And I see a lot of people who are fans more than just basketball, using their real basketball knowledge on who's better, who's not, or just holding players accountable. Like, once again, people love to throw Tatum behind a lot of people. I've literally heard people after this man won a championship, gold medal, averaged more points, rebounds, assists in the NBA Finals than anyone on his team. Still didn't win the MVP, whatever. And still, I've heard people say he's not top 10.
I've heard that.
I've heard that. Like, I'm talking about from multiple people, not like just people that I would just laugh at. Like, no, like, I've heard that from multiple people. I've heard people like Anthony Davis is better. Like, it's just like I've heard people say
it's
you could drop this player, that player, that player, this player, and the Celtics will win a title.
Yes.
No. Yes. Like, there's a reason why, and this is credit to Jaylen Brown too. There's a reason why we swap core guys, and they aren't as good other places, and they have way bigger impact on winning in Boston.
Yes.
The common denominator is Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, that duo.
Yeah.
Because Derek White wasn't a factor on the Spurs.
No.
Grant Williams was a factor on the Celtics. All of a sudden, we're not hearing about him in Charlotte.
Marcus Smart, what have we heard from him?
What have we heard about him? Malcolm Brogdon, since he got traded, what are we hearing about him?
Yes.
Like, Al Horford went to the Thunder and the Sixers. We didn't hear anything. He comes back, and now he's a valuable role player.
Yeah.
The common denominator is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Even though they're not looked at as elite playmakers, they make the guys around them and the role players their job so easy to where they can honestly play 3-and-D basketball.
Yes.
And it makes their job so easy. So I don't think that duo gets enough credit, and I think they will bounce back and win this series.
Yeah.
I think this is a very important series we could talk about for their career as well.
Yeah.
Coming back, you know. Mm-hmm. I wish they would have got that comeback from 0-3, but coming down 0-2 and losing home court advantage.
Yeah.
I think they said only 6 teams in NBA history have came back from that and won, and we might have 2 in the same year.
This is where I'll be fair with Jason Tatum though, and I'll criticize a little bit.
Yeah.
Your best series up to this point, your best games, Game 7 against James Harden and Joel Embiid, who are historically playoff chokers.
Yeah.
And Bucks team without Chris Middleton, I believe. I don't think they had Chris Middleton when he dropped 46 against Giannis, and that's no discredit. That's no discredit to him, but those are his best series right now.
Yeah.
What I will say is Jason Tatum has a chance right now to go nuclear because you don't have Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
You have a chance to put buckets up on the board, carry your team back from a 2-0 deficit, come back in this series, and this is another signature moment in your career.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, Jason Tatum, I'm challenging you to do that.
Yeah.
Because once again, if you do, there's not a lot of things people could say. Yeah. It's just you can prove people after overreacting to a game 2 where they shot poorly again, and this is the first series that they've been down or that they've lost 2 games. Yeah. Like let's slow down a little bit because we didn't do it for Ant, and I'm not hearing nothing about Shea last night.
Yeah,
and I'm not hearing about and Jokic won, but I'm not hearing about.
We're not hearing about it exactly.
So we're
not hearing about Giannis getting kicked out the first round multiple times.
We're not hearing that.
Now, if that were to happen to Tatum, it would be a big problem. And I think this is a guy who.
And didn't Tatum have like 16 boards in this game?
Both games.
Like it's like
both games he has. That's one thing I respect about Tatum. He has elite impact on the game, and I didn't like how he played this game. But game 1 when he struggled, I think other than scoring, he still had elite impact. I think when they won the title, he had elite impact on winning. It's like every time I see Tatum shoot terribly, it's like 6 assists, 7 assists, 15 boards.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of hockey assists as well, just pass and then the next guy. So I think, and once again, he plays defense as well.
Yeah.
He's asked to play the 5 sometimes for us now.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate, honestly.
I don't. I mean, that might be our best chance of winning right now.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I think this is a guy, let's say he does lose the series. It's a knock. It's, dang, Tatum didn't get it done. But this is still a guy with a championship, 6 All-Stars. Like, how far are we dropping him?
No, that's my question. If where are you dropping him?
If Jason Tatum were to lose this series...
Okay, so let's real quick. Let's just paint this picture real quick.
Yeah.
So right now for me, Jokic, Shea, and Giannis are better for me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say those 3. You're gonna say Luka, of course. You're gonna say I don't think Luka is better than Tatum.
I don't either.
I don't think Ant is better than Tatum yet. I don't think he's done quite enough just yet.
No, I've seen Ant multiple times in the playoffs. I mean, like I've told you, he got the win, so it don't matter. But his 2 signature victories, he hasn't played great. He's honestly shot terribly.
And I know people are going to say the same thing about Shea. I think you just have to watch Shea to really understand what I'm speaking of. And you might not have.
Well, Shea also is about to have an MVP.
Exactly.
Anthony Edwards
has never had.
Exactly. There's another level to this.
Yeah.
But like I said, it just comes down to once again, like the whole if Ant had this team, if this player that had this team, I don't know. But like I said, Jason Tatum has had an impact on winning and dominated a conference.
Yeah.
For a while.
For his entire career.
Exactly. And I mean, it's unfortunate we're down, especially because I feel like we should be up 2-0. It would be different if we just got beat. I feel like against the Heat, we got beat. We're down 0-3, and we were just getting outplayed.
Yeah.
I don't even think, like, we're getting outplayed, but we're giving it away as well. We're shooting bad and up 20.
Yeah.
Like, so
and since we're talking about this, I think if Tatum loses this series, I think the only people you put him behind that still have a chance to rise a little bit are Anthony Edwards if he makes a run.
Yeah.
Stephen Curry if he comes back and makes a run.
Yeah.
And then maybe Jalen Brunson. Maybe. But we have to see what he does in this Eastern Conference as well.
Yeah, I would still say he has to win a ring.
Yeah, I feel like he has to do a lot.
Because Tatum just won a ring.
Yeah, because Anthony Edwards and Steph Curry are already like in that convo. Jalen Brunson is really like looking in from the outside of the top 10, I feel like. So we're going to have to see what that looks like.
100%.
And then last series, we're not going to talk about Minnesota Golden State because that's a series that Steph is hurt. We're not very interested in that right now. Well, I still am. I still watch the games, but we have to see where that goes if Jimmy can elevate his game.
Right.
But real quick, we'll talk about Cleveland and Indiana from yesterday. Cleveland absolutely wiped the floor with them.
Yeah.
What do you think about Tyrese Halliburton and his 4-point performance last night?
I think this is like bound to happen with his style. Like every once in a while, he's gonna have games where he's offensively he didn't shoot as well.
Yeah,
like it wasn't like he was 1 for.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah, and I understand, but this is also what makes Tyrese Halliburton elite. He doesn't take bad shots.
Yeah.
If he does his late shot clock, it's 3-pointer that he's capable of hitting. He doesn't just jack. He doesn't shoot bad shots, which is my, Donovan Mitchell, elite playoff riser recently. Like,
my God.
He's been hooping. And I said this before the playoffs. He hooped against Boston last year before he got hurt.
Yeah.
But, I just think that, I think this is what makes Tyrese Halliburton honestly really good, but can sometimes be his downfall because he can't be the number one guy. Yeah. And this is why I said I would love to pair him with
KD.
Yeah, like someone who can score and play off of him on the wing. So, like I said, I think he'll bounce back. They'll be better. Their offense will look a little sharper. I mean, they didn't lead for one moment in this game. They never led in this game. So, Cavs got all their guys back. We'll see if they can tie it back up. They tie it back up. I think we're going 7.
Yeah, I think the Cavs might. From if I'm overreacting to Game 3, Darius Garland's presence made it very hard on the Pacers. Like they were blowing him out the entire time. Indiana made a little run in the first quarter to get them tied back up, but it was a blowout yesterday. Yeah. And man, Darius Garland, I've criticized him many times of not being able to make right decisions in the playoffs, maybe miss shots in the playoffs, but yesterday he was impressive. Even getting those 4 fouls in the first half, that was stupid. But his presence was absolutely felt. DeAndre Hunter's presence was felt. Evan Mobley's presence was felt. So we'll have to see what happens in Game 4. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this. We got some good playoff series, and if Steph Curry,
and the East is good this year.
Yes. No. I don't want this to seem like this is. I think. It's a little different type of basketball.
No, it is 100%.
Than the
East
Western Conference. Yes.
East is offense. West is gritty defense. And you got 1 to 2 guys that dominate the ball scoring wise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This Indiana team stacked from top to bottom. Cavs kind of stacked. The Knicks whole starting lineup.
It's cool to see it like that because it's almost a little NFL-like.
Yes, it gives me the same vibe. Yeah.
On how you're going to start building teams to beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
But then on the other conference, you got the Bills and the Ravens.
You need a quarterback.
You need a quarterback.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very true. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We're about to go fishing. Yeah. It's about to have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
So like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.